I'm Riley Harvey for VCN, and we are tonight live with the vRAAM adventure presented by the online events company. And today's stage is stage 10. It's Ohio Athens, and the length is 64.3 kilometers. As is normal, we try and keep these stages to approximately 40 miles. Elevation tonight is 548 meters. It's dealt out mainly in two peaks, although there are a couple of lumpy bits in between there. We've still got some big elevation to come tomorrow when we hit the Appalachians in stage 11, and then stage 12 is the run into Annapolis, which is mostly descending. So it's an easy stage for the guys on stage 12. We've got Joanna Sharp, Tim Like with us, who are regulars in this 6:30 UK time slot. It's early morning for Joanna Sharp in New Zealand. Must be about mid-morning for Tim in America. And we've Louis Balina and also John Adams joining us tonight on this session. So we'll be underway shortly. There's about a minute to the start of the race, and we'll do the usual. We'll bring you some race, we'll bring you some of the live RAM coverage, and we'll try and mix the two up together and give you an informative an informative broadcast, as well as having live virtual racing on the stream as well. We'll shift the camera to focus on Real Rider at the moment. It's currently focused on the bot cam, and we've got Louis Gustave Bellina here, who is one of the people who's completed all the stages so far. So Joanna and Tim also completed all the stages, and I think this is the first stage that John Adams has taken part in. Jeff Rooney and Bo Duke also completed all the stages. Louis Bellina there from Brazil. Got a little bit of sad news tonight. And that's that our friend of the show, Brian Welsh, has had to pull out of the event. Just going to get the details up now. Brian has made it halfway. Find the article. Typically, when you're trying to find something, you can't find it. Okay, so the official release is that this morning Brian has withdrawn from the race across America. On the official website, this is down as happening at time station 24 Montezuma in Kansas, although he did ride after a long break into Dodge City to reach 1,500 miles and 1,500 miles covered and climbed 47,042 feet. We did check in on Brian last night and we saw that he was at Dodge City, and it looked like he sort of almost circled. He'd moved around a little bit at Dodge, but not actually made any further progress. And unfortunately, because Dodge is not a time station, RAM records him as reaching Montezuma as the last time station. So a combination of increasingly painful neck, as his head wouldn't be supported by his tied neck muscles, which is Sherman's neck, meaning it became increasingly difficult to see up the road. Saddle sores from the sweatfest crossing the desert areas and injuries from the crashes meant that he and the crew didn't feel it was safe for Brian's long-term health to continue. This is meant to be fun as well, albeit type 2 fun. Brian and the crew would like to thank everyone for their overwhelming support and humour during this race and the build-up to it. For Brian, this battle is over, but for Malcolm, the battle to overcome his stroke, which could happen to any of us at any time, remember, goes on. If you could spare a few pennies to support the charity, move mountains for Malcolm, they would be eternally grateful. And there's a link to the GoFundMe page on Brian Welsh's Facebook page. Yeah, so unfortunately Brian's had to dip out of the event. He's by no means a small feat to have covered 1,500 miles, and Brian has been suffering since he had a crash a while back, and has been a long road back to recovery, and it looks like he's still got a little while to go on that. And we wish him all the best. Brian took part in some of the online events company events, and hopefully we'll see him there in the future. And probably a little bit too soon to say, but hopefully we'll see Brian back at RAM as well. I think he's got unfinished business. He's a multiple finisher. He just wants to get one more in the bag, I think. That's it for the news at the moment. We'll keep cycling through the riders, and hopefully a great event this evening. We'll come back with some news and some snippets and some media from the Media RAM team as the evening goes on. See Joanna up at the front of the race here and leading by about 480 meters at the moment. Joanna's target's been set at 4 watts per kilogram just recently, but it's looking like she's trying to push herself a little bit more this morning. It's up at 4.7 and 5 watts here, going over a little lump. To see whether Joanna's trying to set herself a new personal best on this course. I think she has some real life experience of this course as well, so maybe there's an actual time that Joanna wants to beat in this section. You can bear with us for just a moment on the live stream. John Adams started a little bit later and is behind bot cam, our VCN cam 1, so we're just going to jump in and adjust the speed of the VCN cam so that John can get in front of it and hopefully go to get John in on the coverage shortly. John Adams there in 5th position currently, but behind bot cam who will be drifting back in the pack. Worth noting that Joanna is about halfway through the segment at the moment. RAM has been set up, or vRAAM has been set up with segments, and those segments are part of the competition. So there's multiple competitions in the real life RAM, there's multiple competitions in vRAAM as well. So in vRAAM we have it set up so that there is an overall GC, there is a ladies GC, but there's also a segment GC as well. So if you are not able to compete on the full length of the course, you can complete the course at your own pace and just challenge for a time over the segment. And at the moment they're mainly being won by Boduke, Jeff Rooney and Mitcha Kovacic, but they are still open if anybody wants to target those segments and look to get yourself an extra mark on the GC board. So we are running our own series GC at the moment, and we're just going to bring the results across for that. And we can see that at the moment, Bo Duke is the overall leader. He's completed all of the 10 stages so far, as has Jeff Rooney. Bo just a little bit faster than Jeff. And Joanna Sharp currently sitting in third. And Tim Like in fourth. And Luis Gustavo Bellina is in fifth. So those first 5 riders completed all stages and are likely to complete all of them tonight unless there's an issue. We've got the ladies GC, of which there is only Margaret Thompson and Joanna Sharp taking part in that one. Margaret Thompson has unfortunately been unable to complete some of the stages. She's hoping to make them up on catch-up day, at least some of them, possibly a little bit of a push to get all those stages made up. She has had to do some traveling, which has impacted on her ability to ride. And segment wise, we can see on the segment leaderboard there that Jeff Rooney is just beating Bo Duke, although I must say it looks like we are a couple of stages behind, so I'll have to just check on these series there and update those as we go. Looking like stage 9 and stage 10 haven't updated on those, so Jeff Rooney currently in the lead, but as soon as I go into the background that may change. Bo Duke, Joanna Sharp, Tim Like and Luis Gustavo Bellina, very similar ranking to the general GC on the segments there. And we move to the podium. Overall GC winner, we've got Bo Duke in first, Jeff Rooney and then Joanna Sharp. Little switch around for the segment leader at the moment. We've got Jeff Rooney ahead of Bo Duke, Joanna Sharp still holding that third position, and Joanna Sharp ahead in the ladies GC with Margaret Thompson on the second step. So just doing some background work briefly there, bringing the segments up to date. And we can see on the segments there that Bo Duke is taking the battle back to Jeff Rooney there and has won on stages 9 and 10 in the segments. So there is only a gap of 15 points between Jeff Rooney and Bo Duke. It's all to play for. If Bo can manage to win stage 11 and stage 12, he'll take the segment leaders GC as well. Jeff is going to have to push really hard on these segments in order to keep Bo out of that top spot. I know that Jeff has commented to say that he has struggled to beat Bo in the overall stages and the overall races, so he is looking to beat him in the segment. So it'd be interesting to see the battle between those two as it develops a little further. There are lots of things happen during the race of RAM, and one of the things that's happened on this occasion is that a rider called Harry has been having some real serious issues with saddle sores, and there's a little bit of a catch up and a bit of the story and the background to it.
Fair
You
enough.
won't believe it, but I have to send the email.
You have to send an email? For what?
Huh? Yeah, business. Yeah, the business going on.
How's your ride going? Mid-range portrait. Hold on one second. I gotta adjust a couple things.
And now I'm fine.
There we go.
After the second day, I get any problems with my bump. And yeah, it's a really funny story. I get a saddle from a team member of a raw race, he heard about that I had problems, so he bring to us in the middle of the night a saddle. So it's a really nice story. It was Dan from nearly to Nevada. Eh? So he bring a saddle and he saved my ass.
So before we used this saddle, we used a normal one, and you have there are two bones where you sit on the normal saddle, and when you sit a long time on this bone, then there will be pressure from the saddle, and then we get there issues with this one. And now we have this saddle, and there is a place where there's nothing, and so we don't have the pressure on the sitting bone, and since we are working with this saddle, it's going better. It's an infinity saddle. Yeah.
And now I'm good, but I lost about 8 hours because we don't know how going on.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And how about tonight? What's your plan for tonight?
Basically, I'm behind the schedule, so I try to push me so long as I can.
Yeah. Looked like you were going fast.
Yeah, now in the moment without wind. We had now nearly 3 days headwind, and now it's a good feeling to ride without headwind.
Yeah. All right. And now you're on break sending emails.
Now I have to send
Yeah,
the
send
email.
an email. All right. Well, I'll let you go. Good to see you. Good luck.
Next level.
So just a little bit more of an infill there. That Harry Schweikart was struggling with his saddle. He was having really terrible trouble with saddle sores, and had made some modifications with gaffer tape and cushioning, which really weren't cutting the mustard. So J. Michael Phillips, who took part in Raw, got a call from Infinity Seat telling him about Harry's situation and the saddle issues, and they turned round from driving back from their Raw race to go and find Harry and give him the new saddle. And seems like it's working for Harry, and he's able to continue and make good pace with the race. So a lot of the RAM racing is about community and helping each other out as well as competition, but they do seem to have a good spirit between them, and that's just a prime example of a rider helping somebody else out to make sure they can achieve their goals, their dreams of finishing the race. And back to our race. We've got Tim Lyke on the screen at the moment. And Tim is 20 kilometers in with 43 kilometers remaining, 180 meters climbed. Joanna is 2.46k down the road, and really does seem to be hitting a higher wattage target tonight. I don't know whether she's feeling better. I'll have to try and chase down on Instagram, but she seems to be hitting bigger watt numbers tonight than she has been doing previously. Louis Gustave Bellina is a little bit further back at 0.58 kilometers behind, and it's looking like we've just had John Adams drop out for some reason. I don't know, he's coming back in. He's showing 0 watts at the moment and is drifting slightly back on the field. So rode terribly far this evening, but we'll keep an eye on John Adams. Hopefully he's just a pause for a comfort break, or perhaps he's jumped off the bike to get a fresh water bottle or something. So we'll keep an eye on. We're going to go for a break back into the cycling now, and we'll come back with some more updates on the real life RAM and we'll just watch the riders as they push watts and push the road as they continue on to the goal. So it does look, unfortunately, like we've lost John Adams. I don't know why. He's dropped out of the event, but hopefully we'll find out at some point. Was going quite well. If we keep an eye on him, maybe he'll restart at some point. Joanna has sent me a message quite scarily. She's able to communicate whilst she's on the bike riding this sort of wattage, which is not something I would be able to do. And she's just said that she's riding to her usual targets and feeling quite good and concentrating on the climb. So probably going to see a little bit more higher power as she's going over the climbs, and a little bit more to the targets on the flat sections. So RAM Media One has supplied us with a highlights reel of most of the riders who are behind Isa Pulver. Isa is quite a way out in front at the moment, around about 130 miles, and that's been fairly solid for a little while now. So it looks like Isa's maintaining her pace and she's not having any issues, but we've got an update from everyone else that's behind. I think it's Lionel Poggio who is in second place at the moment with around about, as I say, 130 miles to Isa Pulver. But I'll let RAM Media One tell you all about that.
It's just the thought of people riding across the country is just amazing, and the fact they do it from all over the world is cool. And I was lucky to be on a 4-person team in 2015, and I still have friends from different parts of the world that I sat with at night at the time station, or I met when I was doing this. And I've got 2 friends, Srini and Kabir, that I've been in touch with for the last couple of years, so I'm excited that they're both going to be coming through this afternoon and tonight. Hi, I'm Lisa Brunkhorst. I'm the volunteer coordinator for Time Station 41 in Oxford, Ohio, and we are just here to cheer for the racers. We have flags for every racer of every nation to make sure when they come by they hear the cowbells and they see their flag. And we provide them ice water, and if the rider goes down at night, the crews, since they have to get out of the vehicles, can come sit under a tent and have fresh fruit and something to eat and cold water and conversation. Fast. The desert, they are so lucky that the desert was only 95, and I think a few of them caught hail. Right now their biggest challenge is this east wind is awful, because it's at 15 with gusts to 25. But I think they've gotten a break on weather other than this wind, and I'm glad that nobody's seriously hurt.
I can show you special cooling system.
What you got?
You know this here? Oh yeah. Look.
Getting it all day now. Now the people are coming, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I'm on the last one from Switzerland, I think.
Oh, we gotta go. We gotta go. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Next level.
A little bit of a clip of the world that follows the RAM race everywhere it goes. Media One coverage, trying to bring up-to-date information and little excerpts of video and clips of the riders, interviews where they can. Yeah, it's great to see the community, all the time stations manned by volunteers to make sure that the race can go through there and everyone gets a little bit of time and help and assistance as they need it. Back with our race, we have got Joanna Sharp in the lead now, just coming up to another little climb here. Little short sharp 8 at 5% plus. Tim Like just churning out the watts as per usual in this session. 5 kilometers back, and then a little bit further back we've got Louis Gustavo Bellina. John Adams seems to have left the race, unfortunately. It's been going quite well until his avatar stopped moving. Not sure why, what the reason is for that, but I think it was the first stage that John had taken part in tonight. So we'll leave you with the riders for a little bit, and then we'll bring some more clips from the real life ramp. So we're with the Rupert Guinness crew here. Rupert Guinness just having a little snooze on the massage table, and his team trying to keep spirits high.
Hey, Gary Hamer, crew chief with Rupert Guinness, number 647. Things are going pretty good. We're just having a rest here. I think the end's coming into sight. Rupert's mentally really well. He's physically really well. Now we're just in a pattern of chewing the miles up to get to the finish. We had a few issues with his neck near Fort Scott. That seems to have rectified. We had a long rest there in Fort Scott where we put him in a motel for a few hours and actually gave him a bit of a reset, and since then he's been really good.
Grazie, thank you.
Didn't know I was going to get laid on this trip.
Boom, boom. What's going on with the lake?
Can I get you guys?
It's Hawaiian Day on Team Guinness.
Yes.
We've left each day. We say you're on Qantas flight QF11. Today we're flying Hawaii Air.
We're looking all right. Yeah, we're really good.
Hawaii? Hawaii?
How you guys going?
Good, how are you?
Yeah, good, good.
Looked like you had a good nap.
Oh yeah, I was having a massage. I just came and bang, I was out. I was gone.
Doesn't feel like you slept for days.
A bit like that. You sort of wonder.
I can get cold ones.
Yeah, it happened again the other day, and I woke up. I couldn't quite remember where I was. You know, and you have to take a couple of minutes to sort of remember. Oh my God, that's right. That's RAM.
What am I doing here?
Yeah, what am I doing here? Oh, that's right. My feet. I can't move my feet. That's right. You know. Last night was quite bad. I was having a pretty bad fatigue, and was just seeing things on the road that weren't there. And it's a wild and wacky race. This RAM, what it does to the mind. If you imagine putting everybody's experiences into one book, you know, of things they've experienced out on RAM, would be quite amazing.
What's going to keep you going today?
probably this, in short. Every RAAM rider's favourite drink. And today, look, I think just taking stock of the fact that we're now well into the race. You know, all that preparation. I came last year and I got punched in the face. It only lasted a couple of days. And so if you think of all the preparation into last year's bid and then this year, and while it's still another day that's going to be, I'll have sore feet and beach fatigued and everything, it's still another part of the experience I think you've got to take stock of, because it'll be over before you finish. Before you know it, it's going to be gone, and then you'll be faced with the inevitable decision, what do you do next? Do you come back again? And there's still a long way to go before it's over as well. It's just like, you know, like big events tend to, there's such a build up to it, and then suddenly it's all over, and next thing you're talking about the aftermath. So, Annapolis can't come soon enough. Looking forward to that. I didn't get there. I got there last year, but I didn't. You know, I just went and saw Al Jefferson finish and win the race, and wanted to sort of, you know, congratulate him. Also to experience what's it like at Annapolis at the finish line. Bearing in mind, obviously I hadn't earned the right to sort of be on that side of the chute, so I made sure I didn't stand on that side of the chute, because I wanted to save that for when or if I get that chance to go down the chute. So hopefully that's this year. So yeah, it's a fabulous event though. Absolutely fabulous, and the fact that it's been operating now for so long, you know, and I think everybody knows Fred and Rick both Lingen what they do to keep the event going, you know, and you know, huge kudos to them for doing that, you know, helping other people keep, you know, pursue and keep their dreams alive. Yeah. We're all packing up now and moving on.
Yeah, we're going to Annapolis. Hawaiian Airlines today.
Okay.
Yeah.
Are you?
I will be your stewardess today.
That was Rupert Guinness there, and his crew that were just trying to do anything that they can a little bit different to keep the spirits up in the Guinness camp. Patrick mentioned DNF in 2022 there, and I think, if I remember rightly, that he'd got COVID was the reason he DNF'd. He got there and it was a day or two in and was not feeling great and got COVID, but can't 100% guarantee that's what happened. It may have been that he was recovering from COVID and went and wasn't able to continue at the pace he wanted to, but yeah. So he is on course, it's looking like, to finish this year in a good time, and we'll have a look at the RAAM race leaderboard in a moment or two. Joanne has just drifted inside the last 10k. Now we've got another clip from RAM Media to share with you, and we'll send that across now.
Yeah, man. Looking good, looking good. Come on! They are fast.
Next level.
And just quickly, while Joanna's got another 7.8 kilometers remaining, which is ticking off really quickly, and we've got a clip of Isa Pulver. Isa is leading the RAM overall by around about 130 miles from the last time check with Leonor Poggio. Isa's really crushing it. The weather though has been a little less inclement than possibly would be expected, so Isa is here in this clip now.
are you doing?
Fine, thanks. I'm happy when I'm there.
Like a lot of people will be.
Are we?
A lot of people will be happy when you're done.
Ah, yeah, I believe so.
We have a lot of fans out there. They'll be reading you the messages.
Yeah, they're standing all around. They're so cute.
Isa there wearing a lot of layers as she plows on through that thick fog. It must be quite cold in those conditions, and when your body's trying to deal with the extra extremes of exercise that you're putting on it, it must be difficult maintaining a good temperature and keeping everything running right. But Isa's absolutely smashing it and really cheerful. Near Frostburg. She's going through that section in the clip. And our race, Joanna Sharp, is now at 5.52 kilometers. And the couple that greeted Isa at the side of the road were on holiday from Switzerland and just taking the time to go and catch up with Isa and give her some cheering on from the side of the road. Joanna Sharp. Now, less than nearly 2k to go. There is a lump just before the finish line tonight. Been fairly smooth into the finish lines recently, but tonight there is a lump, and it will be about 5% kicker to get up there and get to the finish line. With the Flamme Rouge, Van is just left with one short sharp climb and then a brief descent to the finish line, and stage 10 is ticked off on the list. Penelope Sharp giving out some enthusiasm, encouragement for Joanna. Doing great, Joe, amazing. She is absolutely smashing every stage. For those of you who aren't aware, we are on Facebook, Twitch, Twitter and YouTube, and if you send any messages through on those mediums, we do get them here at BCN headquarters. If you want to find out anything about any of the courses that we're on, or anything about RGT, or some particular information about the real life RAM, we will try and find that out for you and share it with you live in the stream. Meters left, and just a tiny incline up to the finish line. Hard right turn, and that finish straight in view. Joanna Sharp knocks off stage 10 of the online events company's vRAAM adventure. We're going to drift back to Tim Lake, who's still got 8 kilometers remaining, and we'll catch up with the real life RAM dot tracking, which is available via ramrace.org. See on the screen there, we've got ramrace.org and their dot tracker, which is provided by Spot, and we can see that rider number 529, Isa Pulver, is already into the Appalachian Mountains. Isa's managed to sneak ahead of us a stage, and has already completed the Ohio Athens. She was already on there last night and is now into the Appalachian Mountains, which is our stage for tomorrow. And it looks like either is going to finish slightly before us. Annapolis is creeping into sight for Isapulva. And just behind Isa, we can see there's Lionel Poggio. And they're at 2,725 miles. So around about 128 miles behind Isapulva. And then it's a little bit changing around behind. I think Leah Goldstein actually is still in third position as she was yesterday. And then it's Marek Rupinski. And the teams start a day or two later than the solo riders. The team's now managing to catch up and get in the mix with the solo riders. So we can see Team Viasat there, which is Team 804, just after Marek Rupinski. So we've got Isapulva, Lionel Poggio, Leah Goldstein, Marek Rupinski, and then the first of the teams, Team Viasat. Then we're back to solo riders with Kabir Rachur and Heather Poskovich. Then we have another team, which is Zoe International. If I remember rightly, are a team member down. They've lost Jeff Conaway, who had an incident and had to retire from the race. I believe they are okay, but they're obviously not able to continue racing. Then we are back to the individuals with Srinivas Gokunath, Team Srini, and just tucked in there, quite close, Christophe Blanchard, and then Yuzuki Ochai Randonneur. Yusuke Ochai, Randonneur Plus Project. And then with Jonathan Moore, and Amit Samarth, BJ Allenberg, Fritz Gears is into the top runners there from the looks of things. That's the first time we've seen Fritz in the lead runners of the race. There's another team, Team Eco New there. And then Klaus Henning Schulk. There is quite a few more riders involved in the race, as you can see there. Obviously, we're not going to go through all of those riders. But everybody closing in on that Annapolis destination. The dot watching and much more information is available on ramrace.org. That's RAM, R-A-A-M, race.org. More information on the race, on the riders, and how you can get involved, how you can sponsor, and how you can register to take part for next year. Tim Like cruising up to the 1 kilometer Flamme Rouge marker, and this last little kicker will take him up towards the finish line. Tim riding the Cannondale here, which I think is the bike that Education first ride, with the pink and black accents. And up at 7% now. Nearly 3 watts per kilogram from Tim. Climbs conquered. 750 meters remaining to the finish line. And past signage for Infinity Seat and Spiegel bikes, big supporters of the vRAAM event. See in the chat there, Jude Billows giving a shout out, amazing. Not sure who that's for, Jude. Although I suspect actually it's for Joe. They're now crushing these last few meters, coming up in this sharp turn to enter the finish straight. Now we have the vRAAM race banner finish line for Tim, and that is stage 10 of the vRAAM adventure completed for Tim Like. We still got Luis Gustavo Bellina out on the circuit, so we're going to go back to Bellina now and trail Bellina on the way in. Louis Gustavo Bellina. Now coming up on the Flamme Rouge. Small hiccup to get to the finish line. A little 5% climb. Only 600 meters now remains between Bellina and the finish line. Consistent, strong riding from Bellina in all of these stages. $200 meters remaining, a hard right and a short finish to this short straight to the finish line. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. Bellina closes out coverage of stage 10 of the online events company's virtual RAAM adventure, and Bellina finishes in 2 hours 24 minutes and 17 seconds. Thank you to everyone that's viewed, and hope you've enjoyed the stream. We'll be back with you tomorrow night, same time, same place, 6:30 UK time, for another installment of the online events company's virtual RAAM in association with RAAM. And we are on stage 11 tomorrow, which is the Appalachians, a little bit lumpy tomorrow. And then we have the finale, which is Annapolis.